welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's a bit of a different video. I wanted to do this video because recently some things have happened, and as you all know, I strive to be as positive as possible, and there's loads of things that I do to try and keep positive, and I have come a long way, but I think recent events made me realise a lot of things. I think about just over a week ago I received some awful news, and I think a week before this all blew up I actually was feeling the happiest I felt in a really long time, and I was really happy with my progress because I thought I'd never get to this stage. But what it did mean is that when shit happened, I did take a hit, to be honest. Admittingly, I did not deal with it the right way. I think the best way to describe how I dealt with things at the time was just feeling absolutely and utterly numb. I suppressed my emotions instead of dealing with them and acknowledging them and letting them come into my life and process them and all that good stuff. I did everything backwards. I stopped meditating, I stopped working out, I started eating trash, drinking trash. I think it got to a point I was drinking like 6 nights in a row or like something ridiculous, which is not like me at all anymore. I pulled myself up and out of the rut. So yeah, I wanted to make a video on how I stay positive, but also what I realised with positivity, and this is really important to remember if you're on your journey to positivity, because there's a key factor I clearly missed out when implementing all these positive life changes, because when this crappy period of my life happened, I did not deal with it well. So I'll come to my realization at the end. But before I get into the video, I do want to have a little shameless plug insertion segment of my video and shout out my good friend Layla, because honestly, her recent tarot guidance and advice has shaken me to the core, really has. And she kind of pointed out that I was suppressing emotions, and I kind of knew that, but I was suppressing my emotions so much that I was suppressing the fact that I knew I was suppressing. Like, it was crazy. So Layla is a tarot goddess, but she also has services on one-to-one coaching. She gives tailored advice and messages of guidance to improve your well-being, but also like your self-development and self-love journey. And I'll leave her social media links down below. I know she's on Instagram and YouTube. If you're not into tarot cards, haven't really dabbled with it before, I'd suggest going in with an open mind. You can follow her on Instagram. She often does like live readings, which I have joined, and they're incredible. And yeah, that's a good way to test the waters. So do message her and take advantage of that opportunity, because I feel like one of these days when I can, hopefully soon, I want to be able to work with her one-to-one. Because yeah, it's funny because when she gave me this tarot guidance, I actually did a reading on myself the day before, and I got similar cards. In fact, there was a few cards on there that were the same, and what she was saying was what I was getting. It was quite nice to have her perspective on things as well, because it's nice being able to read tarot cards for yourself, but I find it's better when other people read it for you, because I feel like if I do my own tarot card read, I can do it on other people, no problem, but I feel like if I do it on myself, I'm kind of in a state of denial of what I do not want to hear, so I don't hone into the messages, whereas having Layla just pick out, like, I'm sorry that if this comes across cruel, but this is what you need to do and this is what this is saying, and that's really nice to have. So I'll leave Layla's links and things down below so you can check her out, and without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So the first thing that I love doing is I love implementing my morning routine. I honestly don't know why I haven't had a morning routine sooner, because I like the fact that every morning has a structure. It sets up the foundation for the rest of my day, and it keeps me in a high vibe, which is going to continue the whole of the day. So the first thing I like to do is go onto Headspace, which is an app you can get on your phone. It's a meditation app, and I know that if you're a UK university student, you can get a Spotify Premium and Headspace bundle for $4.99 a month, which is insane. I normally go on Headspace, which is quite nice because you can have like 3-minute sessions or 5-minute sessions, so it's good if you're on the go. But I do recommend going with 10-minute ones, because I feel like the longer you meditate, the higher your vibes will be. I found longer meditations actually more effective in my mental state and mood. So once I do that, I like writing in my journal. I start off by writing 10 things I'm grateful for, because I found that gratitude immediately puts you in a happy state of mind, because once you realize about the little things that you take for granted, such as having a roof over your head and income, even if it's like nothing you've got something, you're not on the streets, and then you realise like how much worse your life could be, but you're not there. You know what I mean? Like, even if you think your life is bad, it really isn't. It could be so much worse. So I like picking out what I'm grateful for, who I'm grateful for, blah blah blah, and then I'll write affirmations. Affirmations are my go-to for the self-love journey. It changed my life. I think as human beings, we're so critical of ourselves, and we often pull ourselves down, and it's so unnecessary. It's a living lie. So I write roughly like 8 to 10 affirmations of myself every day and repeat them in my head. Affirmations are basically positive statements about yourself. So you could write like, you know, I am beautiful, I am intelligent, I am kind. And once you start reading this every single day, your subconscious mind starts to train itself and say nice things about yourself. Instead of looking at the mirror and hating what you see, soon enough you look in the mirror and be like, she fine. And that is the most amazing feeling in the world, is just to be able to speak kindly to yourself, like the way you would to a friend. I then, what do I do? Oh yeah, so for instance, felt like, okay, I really love this person, I want a better relationship with them, whether that's a friendship or, you know, a family member or a boyfriend or a girlfriend. I will write 10 things I love about them, because I feel like when it comes to people, say there's a bit of a riff-raff or an argument or something like that, we're so quick to blame the other person or point the finger or get angry. But if you start picking away the things that are great about another person, automatically, again, you're grateful for things, you are more positive about this person. And I've noticed a shift in my way of thinking since doing that. So that's something else I do as well. The last thing I'll do in my morning routine is do a tarot card reading on myself. I used to use the traditional Rider-Waite deck, but I found that the tarot card readings, when it told me something I didn't want to hear, I got really psyched about it. So I stopped using traditional tarot decks. I have recently started picking up on them again, but I think I'm going to ditch it again because, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to go back in that cycle of negativity. I think I'm more than happy to do readings for my friends and stuff, but on myself, I'm a little bit touchy about it. I do still look at them from time to time, but I don't know. I'll pass. So what I've been using instead is the Universe Has Your Back deck by Gabrielle Bernstein. What I love about it is that every card is positive. It literally has an affirmation for your day, and normally I will tap to knock away the negative energy and I'll shuffle them, and normally I tend to go for 3 shuffles and 3 cards, but it changes depending on what I'm feeling and what flies out really, so I'll take it at face value. And these are the cards that I love having because I love, again, having positive affirmations and statements to look at in the morning to set my day. But I think I've used these cards to death now, and I'm ready for another deck. So I've currently got like Rebecca Campbell's on hold that I want to get at some point. After I meditate, this is a recent addition inspired by my friend. I like to do yoga. It's like a physical form of meditation. It makes me feel great. I started off with yoga with Adrian, the 5-minute ones, the 10-minute ones, you name it. But I've now absolutely loved Deliciously Ella's app because, I don't know, I just really enjoy her yoga videos, and you can have, I think she's posted 2 on her channel, sort of like taster ones that you can try, and I was obsessed with them. What I love about her yoga is that not only do I feel refreshed, but I feel like it pushes your physical limit as well. And as a gal who does fitness, I absolutely love it. And I love her app as well because I've been so obsessed with her podcasts. Her podcasts are amazing. I've been really enjoying them and learning loads of new things. And she also has recipes on there, loads of vegan recipes, which some of which I have tried out, but I want to try more. So another thing I find that is helping me at the moment is listening to podcasts. The great thing about podcasts is that you can listen to them wherever and whenever. So I like to multitask with them. I listen to them when I'm cooking, I listen to them while I'm exercising. I've learned so much, and there's so many great podcasters out there. I will put a full link of who I'm listening to in the description bar. The ones that are sticking out to me the most is Deliciously Ella, like I mentioned before, but also Georgie Cooper from Georgie Fit on Instagram. She's so down to earth and she's quite local as well from me, but she's into weightlifting and she's got such an amazing mindset. I kind of resonate with her a lot because she is such a workaholic and she's ambitious and she's got that drive, and some of the stuff she says really hits me. So yeah, I'll leave her stuff down below as well because that's a really good podcast to listen to. But speaking of exercise, that's another thing I do regularly to keep me happy and stuff. But exercise is incredible. We all know it releases endorphins. We all know it can be a bit of a struggle to start, but once you do, and afterwards you're going to feel amazing. I have lost over 2 stone just by watching what what I eat and working out. So I can't really fault that process, to be honest, but in that process it's made me so much happier, from the overweight girl who was really unhappy with herself and hated how she looked in the mirror to someone who's now confident in how she is. And seeing my body change during lockdown was quite interesting, because it just goes to show you do not need the gym to keep fit. You can be at home, you can, be a mum of 5, a mum of 2, it doesn't matter. You can implement some movement in your day. Talking about movement, another thing that I love is walking. I'm a big walker. I do love to hit those 10k step goals, if I'm lucky 15k. There's nothing quite like having a walk in nature. I am a bit of a nature girl at heart, but there's some incredible places and parks near me, and I've noticed in the countryside they have much better walks than London, but it doesn't matter where you are, there's always going to be a park or something to go to, and just having that fresh air is just so important. To be honest, even when it has rained, I quite liked walking in the rain as well. As long as I've got my raincoat on, I'm fine, but I've just found it so therapeutic. And what I love is exploring new places. So if there's a new park that you hadn't heard of, like me the other week, I went for a shoot the other day and the photographer literally took me to a park down my road that I had no idea existed. I returned back there recently, and so yeah, just make sure you research like what parks are around you, because you might be shocked, you might have missed something that you didn't even know. And trust me, I've been living here for 4 years now and I didn't even realise there was this massive park near me. It was crazy. Another thing that makes me happy is tuning into my hobbies and tapping into my creativity. There's so many things I want to try again, like painting and illustrating again, but I'm sort of trying to do one thing at a time at the moment. But something that I dabbled into, and another thing that can boost your happiness, is trying something new. So I put 2 and 2 together, trying something new and being creative, and I made a board game with my boyfriend. I wanted to play Monopoly, and we made our own Monopoly game, and it's a Harry Potter edition, which I don't even think exists, but it was so good. It literally looked shop bought. So just doing little cute things like that and being creative, especially during this weird period where we have a pandemic going on, is just so nice and can really make the most of a situation when you're at home. So socializing can be a bit weird for people right now, because I don't want to advocate you go to your mate's house and all have a party and then go and get the virus at the end of it. I'm not saying that. What I mean is the Zoom calls, the phone calls, social distance kind of socializing. It's so important to have a network of good family members and good friends around you, because that is going to help with your happiness so much. You don't want to feel isolated, because that's kind of been my mistake in the past, where I've literally retreated but become too isolated in my own thoughts. So you don't want to be isolated. Surround yourself with positive energy as well. Be careful and be mindful of who you surround yourself with, because if you've got someone who's really, really negative, it's going to drain the shit out of you, and you're going to start to feel that negativity, and you're going to start to be negative yourself. So be very mindful. There's nothing wrong with giving advice to friends and stuff like that, but you just don't want to continue being around people who are gossiping 24/7. Do you know what I mean? Like people who are just negative. You don't want to be around that. The last thing I love doing is getting ready. So like I said, this whole pandemic dynamic, I try to basically not go out loads and loads, but I do like getting ready, doing my makeup, having that normality. I don't do my makeup to please anyone else. I do my makeup because I like it. Maybe it's because to me it's another art form. I don't know what it is. It's just that notion of getting ready. Like I notice the difference if I wake up, I'm in my PJs, I change into loungewear after a shower, and I don't know, it's just something about being in loungewear all day, but whereas if I get ready, do my makeup, I feel happy in myself, I feel great, and I feel motivated to just, I don't know what it is, just be a boss in my life, like be a girl boss, But yeah, that brings me to the things that keep me positive. But what I wanted to say, which is the last thing and the most important thing about positivity, if there's one thing I realised during this past week or so where shit hit the fan, if there's one thing I know from this, is that if you strive for positivity so hard at full force every single day, which is what I did and have been doing, when life happens and unfortunately there's a twist and turn in the works, you will fall triple or twice as hard. This is the problem. You don't want to be happy-go-lucky, which is good, don't get me wrong, but you've got to be mindful about your positivity journey, because that's the one thing I didn't do. So be mindful that it is okay to not be okay, because if you are identified as a positive warrior 24/7 and that's what you truly believe in your head, like I did, when you fall, you will fall. So even though I strive for positivity on my social media platforms, I do want to keep it real at the same time. time, because I don't want to be telling people that, you know, well, I never have a bad day, because that's such a lie. I'm human like everyone else. What you have to remember in light of everything is that the universe is never against you. It is always for you. Whatever happens, it's always for you, one way or another. Sometimes you don't know why, and you know, that's okay. Sometimes it takes time for the reasons to come out, and you'll always discover the reason why things are happening to you. Well, for you, should I say, with time. So don't beat yourself up. But I think that's the most important thing that everyone needs to know in their positivity journey is literally do not beat yourself up for having a bad day. You've got to be mindful that sometimes in life it's going to go like this, or even like this, but that's okay. And that's probably the reason why I've been suppressing my emotions and being numb and dealing with my negativity, well, not my negativity, the negative shit in life, in such a bad way, is because I was so used to doing this and being here that when this news came about, I literally went like, woo, don't do that. Don't be an Imogen and do that. So yeah, I just wanted to do this video to help me get back into my routine of things, but also to help you guys, because I know some people could really benefit with implementing some positive changes in their life. So that's all for me today. I hope this has somewhat helped. It was kind of like a half vlog, half like, yeah, I can help you guys kind of vid, but yeah, I hope that helps. I know I haven't really been posting as regularly in terms of the YouTube. It might have been a bit of a gap, but it's because I had to face some demons and come back stronger. So that's all from me today. If you've liked the video, don't forget to comment, like and subscribe. I'll leave all my social media links on my blog as usual down below, and if you have any ideas or positivity that you want to share, do hit me up with them, because I'm always looking to improve my methods of things. Let me know if you want to see anything else, but until then, I'll see you in my next one. Bye. So, whoops.